Have you ever wondered what it really means to put your own life on the line for someone you love? Among all the unforgettable moments in Naruto, there's one that touched fans in a unique way. The day Hinata Hyuga threw herself against pain to protect Naruto. It wasn't just a fight scene, it was a declaration of love, courage, and sacrifice that still gives chills to those who remember it. At that moment, Konoha lay in ruins. Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki, had invaded the village, spreading destruction everywhere. Naruto, already exhausted from the battle, was cornered by the overwhelming power of the enemy. The air felt heavy, the ground trembled with each step of pain, and hope was slipping away. And it was in that desperate scenario that Hinata made the boldest decision of her life. She, who had always lived in the shadows, with insecurities, with the feeling of never being good enough, decided to face the impossible. Not because she thought she could defeat pain, but because her heart wouldn't allow her to stand by and watch the man she loved be crushed before her eyes. Hinata knew the risk. She knew she could die, but instead of fleeing, she advanced. Her gaze was firm, fists clenched with the Juken style, and her breathing heavy as she prepared for the inevitable. Every step toward Naruto was also a step against her own limitations. And when she stood before pain, she wasn't just a Kunoichi protecting her comrade, she was Hinata proving that, even when fear screams, love can speak louder. Naruto fallen could hardly believe what he was seeing. He knew Hinata as the shy girl, soft-spoken, who always stayed in the background. But there, in front of him, stood a warrior ready to face death. Pain, indifferent, looked at the scene as if facing a trivial obstacle. And Hinata answered with words that echoed in every heart. "I will protect you, Naruto-kun." That simple phrase, filled with emotion, wasn't just a promise. It was the summary of everything Hinata had felt since childhood, since the day Naruto became her inspiration. The fight itself was one-sided. Pain was godlike in power. Hinata was only human. But that doesn't matter when we speak of courage. Hinata attacked, fell, stood up, attacked again, even knowing she had no chance. Every strike she threw was a cry against fate, a way of saying, "I will not back down." And in that sacrifice, something greater happened. When Hinata fell wounded before Naruto, he lost control. It was there that the Nine Tails broke free, and one of the darkest moments in the series began. But see how symbolic this is. Hinata's act, though incapable of defeating pain, was what triggered the strength Naruto needed. It was love that sparked fury. It was the sacrifice of someone seemingly fragile that awakened the hero's true power. And this scene became a milestone not only in Naruto's story but also in the relationship between the two characters. It was the moment Hinata stopped being just the shy girl in the class and became recognized as someone capable of moving mountains for what she believes in. And here, in the middle of this video, let me tell you something. If you also seek power and endurance in real life, you need to check out the Alienware Aurora R15 desktop, a complete gaming PC, built for those who don't accept limits. Whether in gaming, video editing, or any heavy task, this machine is the true Kurama mode of computers. Back to the scene. It's impossible not to feel moved by Hinata's gaze, because it wasn't just a fight, it was a silent confession of love, even without expecting to be reciprocated, even without thinking about tomorrow. She gave everything she had in that instant, and you realize the impact when, later, Naruto remembers that moment as something he could never forget. Because, in the middle of chaos, someone chose to stand by him, even knowing she might die. Hinata showed that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. She proved that true power lies not only in chakra jutsu or special bloodlines, but in the strength of a heart willing to sacrifice itself. And that's why this scene is remembered as one of the most emotional in the entire anime. Not for the grandeur of the fight, but for the grandeur of the feeling. Deep down, maybe that's the greatest lesson. No matter how weak we may feel, love can make us capable of facing giants. Hinata, with her determination, taught us that even the shyest can have their moment to shine. So let me ask you, if you were in her place, would you have the courage to throw yourself before a god to save the one you love, even knowing it could cost you your life?